Right, what's up everybody? It is Cody here from Metal Miners. As you can tell, I'm in a new location. One, because it's hot outside. I'm not trying to sweat on my day off. Two, where I want to start filming videos is upstairs, but the air condition is out. So don't want to sweat. So that's essentially what's going on. I will say it's been a while since I've done one of these. This is an actual collection update, not just things that I've heard, but things that have been actively purchased, things that I can show, tactile information, so to speak. So yeah, let's get right into it. I will say towards the end of the video, I have a few sort of announcements, things to talk about, but most of you don't really give a shit about that, so let's just get into it. First up, 1914. I got a couple of 1914 releases to show. First up, this is Blind Leading the Blind. I believe this came out in, I want to say 2018. 1914, of course, black and death metal, World War I theme. 1914 was the year the war started. This should be kind of on everybody's radar, I guess. Pretty popular band. Already have kind of started copycat bands, which is usually a good sign. So definitely check this out if you're into black and death metal or black metal, or any kind of like war themed stuff. So that's the Blind Leading the Blind. This is actually probably my favorite 1914 release, where Fear and Weapons meet, featuring my favorite 1914 song, Pillars of Fire. Really love like the synth work on that, pummeling drums, which is pretty common in 1914 stuff, blast beats, things like that. But not really a change of form here. I just kind of prefer this record over their first two, and this came out, I believe, in 2020 or 2021. Sorry, I didn't write that down here. 5-piece band. I got both of these via Napalm Records, to which they are signed to. So yeah, that's my 1914 collection as of right now. Hopefully I'll get their first album kind of complete, the full lengths. As far as completionist, I don't know if I'm super big on it for most bands, but there are a few bands, especially if there's only 3 releases, that kind of makes it easier. But bands with like over 10 albums, it's like I really have to like the band if I'm gonna try and complete that. So yeah, let's just move on. So next up, these two next albums actually came courtesy of Born Dead Collection. For those of you who don't know, that is Melanie Loves Death Metal distro. So shout out to her. If you don't know who that is, check out her page. Really popular and really active in the metal vinyl community. And like I said, has her own distro, so that was really cool. So first off is Tomb Mold Planetary Clairvoyance. Obviously, this band needs no introduction. Comes on this really nice vinyl here, really beautiful. Kind of like lime green with this almost like raspberry swirl. But yeah, as most of you know, I don't really listen to much death metal. I'm pretty basic when it comes to my death metal stuff. So Tomb Mold, I mean, if you know anything about death metal, you know about Tomb Mold. One of the best modern death metal acts. probably one of my favorite death metal songs ever is Beg for Life, and that is the first track on this album. So definitely check out, I mean, if you haven't heard this, like, you're probably not watching this page. This came out in 2019. Tomb Mold, of course, from Toronto, Canada, Canadian death metal. 4-piece, really good stuff. Like I said, pretty common knowledge Tomb Mold is. So if you don't know who Tomb Mold is, you know what's going on. So on to another band that really needs no introduction, or if they do, once again, like, what's going on here? What are you watching this page for? You might as well be on the other side of YouTube watching kids play with slime or something like that. That is Gorgoros Antichrist, or Antichrist, as the Norwegians say, I guess. This came out in 1996. I mean, Gorgoroth is one of those bands that everyone should know as far as black metal goes. Comes on this really nice white vinyl here. But I will say, I really wasn't really into Gorgoroth when I first started listening to black metal. Only a couple, let's say 6 months ago, I really got into them. And they're one of the few bands, in my opinion, that have changed vocalists, you know, several times. And I really feel that each vocalist is really strong, especially the first three. This one features Hat. This actually is when Gorgoroth, well, it's a 3-piece on this album. It's a Hat, Frost, and Infernus, obviously. Obviously, a lot of people know Hat, Pest, and then Gall. I really like all three of them, to be honest. Obviously, I know there's more vocalists, but I think all three of them really are really strong, have their own kind of vibes, I guess. But I appreciate pretty much all of Gorgoroth's eras as far as vocalists. I think they're all really strong. It is annoying to me, however, that you can't find the Gall era stuff except on YouTube. Kind of weak on Infernus's part, I guess. And you know, I do understand the background behind it, how Gall and King of Hell kind of try to take the name and everything like that. So obviously there is some animosity. But still, you know, I want to hear the Gall stuff when I happen to go on YouTube. So that is Gorgoros Antichrist, 1996. Next up is an album that I kind of thought I was never going to get my hands on. Luckily, it got pressed, I don't know, maybe 2 weeks ago. Was on both 20 Buck Spin and Nuclear War Now. I got mine off 20 Buck Spin. It seemed to me that at the time when I was buying it, I was like, oh shit, like I gotta buy this like immediately or it's gonna sell out. But it took a little longer, and I probably should have got mine from Nuclear War Now because I think it was a little cheaper. But I think I prefer the vinyl variant through 20 Buck Spin. So obviously I'm talking about Stormkeep's Tales of Other Time. I love everything about this album. Love the cover, love the band aesthetic. Love the music especially. It's a 5-piece from Denver, Colorado. It's got members from Wayfarer, Blood Incantation. I'll show the vinyl variant here that I got. I believe it's called Plum. Let's actually see. Claret Violet. Claret Violet. I'm assuming it's a French word, claret. Really pretty, actually. Obviously, it's kind of got that blood on ice kind of effect to it, a little bath reaction. Comes with like the map and the overall lore of what they're speaking of in this album. But like I said, I'm thrilled to have this. I really thought I was never gonna be able to get it, and just have to listen to it digitally. Christ, that's my dog. Sorry. But yeah, that is Stormkeep's Tales of Other Time. 2021. I was on my, I don't quite remember where it was on my top 20, but super high, especially with re-listenability. Re-listen to it pretty much all the time. Super strong. Debut full length. I think everybody really pretty much knows who Stormkeep is at this point. Next up is Zaratus, The Descent. This is their 2019 demo. Zaratus is a two-piece coming from Greece, so it obviously has that Hellenic sound to it. There's synth leads, things like that. Really strong. I talked about this band first on my Saturday, my Metal Miners Saturday Bandcamp special. Went into their only full length in the Days of the Whore. Really good stuff. So figured, couldn't find the full length. Might as well get the demo. So it features the 4 tracks here, and then on the back side is this really nice etching. Do I have it in the right spot? Yeah. So that's just the cover there. But really a true work of art there. Really pleased to get this. As I said previously, it's Hellenic black metal, so it's got those kind of things that you would expect from it. I will say this is a little more, let's call it modern black metal than their full length. Their full length, I would say, is more akin to that Hellenic black metal sound than this is. Comes with this inner here. Track listing, lyrics, things like that. So yeah, I mean, if you're a fan of well done black metal, especially of the Greek variant, I would check this out for sure. And like I said, I got hip to them through my Bandcamp special. So I'm slowly trying to kind of build up my collection through things that I've gotten hip to through that Bandcamp special. So keeping with that trend, here's another one that I got hip to through Bandcamp. That is Nocturnal Triumph, self-titled, 2022 released. If you watch that video, you will know not much is known about this band, besides that they are Swedish. Comes with this inner, nothing on this side. Keeping with that whole mystique of mystery. How would I describe this? Well, I already spoke about this on my Bandcamp special page, but this is, I would just describe as modern black metal, kind of meat and potatoes if you like. Doesn't really do anything crazy. It's just really well done black metal. And I love this cover. Looks like some sort of demon or something. The green really makes it pop, in my opinion. But yeah, that is Nocturnal Triumph's self-titled. Like I said, 2022, Swedish black metal. If you're into black metal, definitely check that out. Where am I at? Let's see, about 15 minutes. So real quick, just a few life updates. That's it for the vinyl, by the way. Let's see, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So 7 vinyl I showed. About 2 minutes on each one. I think that's fair. So first off, you might have noticed I've been kind of AWOL, I guess, over the past 2 weeks. Essentially what happened was I was supposed to take over a classroom actually on Tuesday for a teacher teaching English and what's called reading, freshman, 9th grade. So I guess if you're international, what would that be? Is that still considered primary school or is that secondary school? I don't really know. We just consider it high school here. Obviously in the American school system, you go from kindergarten to 12th grade. So I'm teaching 9th grade, so around 14, 15-year-olds. But what happened was the teacher I was supposed to be taking over for quit about 2-3 weeks early, and so I was not prepared to take over this classroom. Had to take over the classroom, so I've been really like scrambling over these past few weeks to try and figure everything out, get everything in order. Still in that process now, so typically when I come home, I'm doing more work at home and just don't really have a lot of time to listen to music, make updates, things like that. So that's basically what's been happening in the past few weeks. I haven't really been listening to a lot of new music. I will say I've been consuming a lot of really hateful. The more hateful, the more fast has been better for my mental health. So, you know, things like 1349, Immortal, you know, some Burzum every now and then. You know the like. So that's happened. But with that, my paychecks are significantly more than they were because I was just working in the library. So over the past few days, I've already made some significant purchases as far as physical copies of music that I like. So expect more collection updates. And with that being said, I think I'm just gonna quit doing the Metal Miners Bandcamp Saturday thing for a couple reasons. One, it really started because I didn't have the money to kind of buy the physical things that I wanted. So getting this pay raise kind of reduces that. And two, what's the way to say this? I don't feel like the amount of work that I was doing for it made a lot of sense as to what, you know, I was getting back from it, I guess. So as far as like reception, obviously those who enjoyed it, appreciate you. But it was kind of like a continuous thing where I felt like I wasn't really getting any views. So, I don't know, I just kind of feel like, you know, if I'm not getting views on it, what's the point of doing it? I get the counter could be said that like, oh, are views really everything in YouTube? And obviously not, because, well, this is gonna open up a whole can of worms, but obviously social media is fake and I don't think any of that shit really even matters. Especially someone that's my age that kind of grew up through social media and kind of saw its evolution and kind of how it like changed people. Because I'm 25, so you know, when I was in middle school, social media wasn't the phenomenon that it is today. So I was kind of there to see how firsthand how it was changing the people that I knew, and it kind of snowballed into this thing that at the beginning it wasn't. And, you know, I guess for like the older generation, I don't know, I feel like I just have a different perspective on it. And I kind of hate it. So that's one thing, like if you see me like not really on it like that, it's just because I can't stand it. And I try to avoid it. Over the past months or so, I've never really used Facebook. I was there when Facebook first started. Used it for maybe like 2 weeks when I was younger. I was there when MySpace was still going. Really more towards the end of the MySpace era. I think my like girlfriend in like 6th grade was like, "Hey, you should get a MySpace." So obviously I was like, "Shit, yeah, I'll get a MySpace." And that lasted not very long. I was always big on Twitter, but recently, let's see, probably like 2 or 3 months ago, deleted my Twitter page. That was mostly what I used as far as social media. And then just recently deleted my personal Instagram page. Obviously, I'm still on the Metal Miners page, and I post on there pretty infrequently. And then let's see, TikTok. Oh God, I'm not even gonna get into TikTok. So yeah, really, that's kind of what's been going on with me. As I said, I've got about, let's see, 6 or 7 vinyl here already that I need to show. So I don't know, maybe in the next 7 to 10 days that'll be up. And then I made several orders through several websites with at least 3 things of music on each one. So that'll be there hopefully by the end of this week. So I'll have that to show as well. And then hopefully by that time it'll be the 15th, and that's when I get paid again. So, you know, we'll just keep it going from there. I don't think I'll be able to buy as much as my dad now, per se, you know, having things coming in every single day. But I'm definitely trying to up my game, I guess. Get my collection a little bigger and not focus on, you know, digital. So yeah, I know I kind of ranted there for the last 7 minutes. But yeah, that's kind of what's going on with me. So appreciate you watching. Hopefully I showed some stuff that you liked. Maybe some stuff that you didn't like, or maybe some stuff that you didn't know. If you didn't hear of any of that stuff, definitely check it out. I like all the music I share, so if I'm showing it, it's something that I have interest in. It's not some stuff that, you know, I'm just showing just because, I got this because other people got it, or things like that. I really don't care. If another person likes something, that doesn't mean I'm gonna like it. Now, with that being said, I did purchase an album that I'd never heard before by an artist who I barely know, merely because the hype surrounding it was so high, and I was already gonna make a purchase through Nuclear War Now, and I saw it on there, and I was like, you know what, screw it, like, I'm on here at the right time. It'd be kind of silly for me not to buy it, you know, because what happens if I like it, and it's one of those things that's super rare. So I figured, you know, what the hell. So I went ahead and bought something that the hype made me buy. So obviously I'm a hypocrite already, but we'll cross that bridge when we get to it. But appreciate you watching. Thanks.